Hey y'all, it is Akeo, that magical witch. As some of my most recent subscribers know, yes, Akeo is the name given to me in the spiritual world, but you can call me Cece. And today is the day where I go ahead and give y'all some updates, because the last video that I had made, I was talking about witch hunters and also talking about Papa Legba, so it is time for an update. I do apologize here in advance if the quality of this video doesn't look well. It's off of my phone. I don't have like special like filming equipment. Maybe I can invest into that in the future. However, I just kind of want to get to it. I'm making a run real quick to the gas station, so I will be like pausing this video and then like coming back to update and stuff. But I'm gonna try to keep this video as unedited as possible, just so that I can give you guys my true experience with a lot of this. So, but just to kind of do a recap, I reached out to a witch doctor that I actually was paying attention to, which is Aki. For those that don't know, Aki T, I'll link his channel down below and his information too as well on social media. But I had been watching just a few of his videos. He doesn't have that many on YouTube. He doesn't really upload that much on YouTube. You can find more of his activity on Facebook or Instagram. And I believe he has a TikTok as well. So Aki T, I'll go ahead and link all that down below in the description box for y'all. I gotta go, hold on. Watch me whip, hey, hey. All right, let me stop, because I'm gonna make this video as short and sweet as possible. So there might be some things that I edit out of this just for the sake of time, because I know a lot of people don't like to sit and just watch somebody talk for 20 minutes straight. So we're just gonna get straight down to business, but I will return, so just bear with me. All right, let's get it. All right, so I'm not gonna really explain too much as far as my previous videos, since I don't have that many. Feel free to just go ahead and watch the other videos just to get an idea, because I think my first one I had uploaded was about, you know, going to meet Papa Legba at the Crossroads, and then also the witch hunters. The witch hunters was first, and then it was Papa Legba. So I can't see. Can I go? Shouldn't even be doing this, but anyways, I literally just drove to the gas station, y'all, when I could have walked. But Colorado is tripping right now, and it's cold, so, and it's been raining, so I was just like, whatever, I could have walked, but it is what it is. All right, so getting back into business or whatever. So December is when I went to the Crossroads to meet with Papa Legba, and I went and made 3 requests. I did also make sure that I had offerings to give him, and then I was also being mindful and observant, but not obsessive, of like just any signs to approach, and then also with the pennies that I used to get the confirmation whether or not what I was asking of to be granted or not, and all 3 were granted. And I did start to see things manifest, things change immediately within the first week, based off of my 3 requests. Now, as far as the requests that I had made, I don't want to get too much into detail about it, just for the sake of, you know, privacy between me and my husband. But one of them was for fertility. Another one was for, I had fertility and then like prosperity as well. And just like to kind of break old habits that's not allowing me to be financially wealthy, or, I mean, not necessarily rich, but just to be financially secure. So like breaking all those old habits and stuff. So a lot of that happened, and then I realized that coming into the new year, things just got weird. Things weren't like, I felt like I was kind of getting drawn back a little bit, and I wasn't really pushing to achieve what I need to do. Well, I've stepped away from my practices, doing some soul searching and stuff, because I've been trying to like figure out like, well, what do I really need to do? Like, where is my motivation at? I realized that I've lost the motivation to really do what I was already doing as far as like my day-to-day life and like career-wise and stuff like that. And I even had some hard times to where like my husband had to be really strong for me despite the fact that he's incarcerated, you know, to kind of help uplift me and get me back going. So I decided to pursue my own business, just a direct sales business, you know, nothing crazy. Everyone's heard about Mary Kay and everything, and I am still a consultant, but this video is not pertaining to that, and nor am I going to provide any information about that whatsoever, because I want to keep that separate from what this YouTube channel is going to be. So I started pursuing that, and I realized I didn't really have the motivation. Like, I enjoy it. I like, you know, being a consultant and stuff like that, but it's just not for me. It's not what my soul is craving to do. It's not my desire or my passion. So I'm really good with mechanics. I've worked in a mechanic shop before, and I'm getting ready to work in a new mechanic shop, and I've also relocated out of the area. I'm still in Colorado. I just live 100 miles south of where I used to live. So I'm still in Colorado for now, waiting for my husband to be released from prison, and then we'll do whatever we have to. But I realized there was a break in, like, where I was going as far as my spirituality. I hit a brick wall. So instead of trying to, like, figure out what I needed to do, I just kind of let things be. I didn't really deal with it. It was still there, but I guess I just needed to wrap my mind around things. So I kind of, like, blocked myself from growing. And then I realized that, you know, I had some of my own issues that I needed to deal with, some more shadow work that I needed to dive into in order to allow me to grow. And then not only that, switching up my diet and trying to be more physically active. And then unfortunately I still smoke cigarettes. However, I'm trying to cut back on cigarettes, and eventually quit smoking cigarettes. So I've made some lifestyle choices to kind of help bring my energy field back up. Well, it wasn't until maybe February, I want to say. I can't really give you an estimate, because when it comes to dates, I have a short memory. So I remember things, but I don't remember when half the time. My memory is weird like that. My son took half of my brain cells after I gave him life, so it is what it is. But more importantly, there was this dream that I had as a child. And it was a reoccurring dream, and I've had this dream going all the way into, like, the earliest memories that I can think of as a child. I think probably about 4 is when I started developing memory, about 3-4 years of age. And I remember there was this one night, and I ended up having a dream, and I ended up having that dream again. And then I also had another dream of me and my husband, and then him being killed while he was incarcerated, and then me finding out after the fact that I was having a major surgery on my throat, and I went into a coma twice and died while I was in a coma and was brought back. And this is all in my dream, right? After I had that dream, because these two dreams happened in the same night, so there were 2 different dreams. So the dream that I had in my childhood, and then this dream. And then when I woke up that morning, not only was I pissed off, because I'm like, all right, ancestors, what the hell do y'all want? Because y'all out here giving me crazy dreams that's pissing me off. And usually if someone dies, whether it's yourself or someone else in a dream, generally it's a death of a situation or an ending of a cycle. If it's someone that's close to you or you have some sort of relation or connection with, usually you're looking at that person, whatever strengths or aspects that they have about that person, that's something that you lack within yourself that you need to change. So that's usually what those dreams signify, and that was the case. And then I started thinking about the other dream. I was like, man, I just had this reoccurring dream. So check this out, y'all. This reoccurring dream that I've had since my childhood, I am in the clouds, and it's like kind of set up like the board game Candyland. The best way that I can explain it, if anyone has ever played that, if you're old enough to even know about that. And I have to travel through the cotton candy clouds or whatever, and then the candy cane forest and the Laffy Taffy fields, and I'm just traveling through. It's during the daytime, not a scary dream or anything like that, just a very topsy-turvy dream. And then eventually I just reach in midair, you know, with clouds and everything, in the middle of nowhere, a red door just, you know, floating in midair. And I open that door, and then inside of that room, it's a red room, completely red, and then there's a disco ball that's spinning. It's like crappy setup. And then there's a man that's sitting on the chair, and he has a cane, And he's wearing a red trench coat, red pants, and then a black shirt, and he has a red top hat on. And then right above him, written in letters, or spray painted in letters, it says God with a question mark. Well, check this out. I started to think that was Papa Legba, and that's what basically got me led back. Or actually, I can't even think of the correct time stamps on this, because I feel like I had this dream before I ended up seeing Papa Legba, and that's why, yeah. So this actually happened. See, I'm telling y'all, my memory has been crazy lately, so I need to start eating brain foods. I don't know why, but I've been like super forgetful lately, and like my memory is just going all over the place. And I think it's mostly just because I'm like kind of stressed out and there's a lot going on. But yeah, so this happened before I actually went to the Crossroads to meet Papa Legba, so you guys will know about that as well if you've watched my previous videos about witch hunters and meeting Papa Legba. But so that's why I went to the Crossroads and made those requests. Now fast forward to now, and I've been on TikTok recently. And if you guys are interested in following me on TikTok, feel free. I will leave that information down below as well. But I've been watching like a lot of witch talk. So that's like a little hashtag of TikTok of like, you know, witches, paganism, voodoo, hoodoo, all that stuff. Like people of all different backgrounds and stuff like that. And there's a couple of people that I found interesting, that I connected with, that I was like, yes, they have the information that I need right now. I was drawn to you for a specific reason. And both of these two men, one of them does like a lot of like astrology, so he's more in depth with like the natal charts and all that stuff. And then the other one is actually being mentored into being initiated into voodoo. Now, my grandmother had mentioned to me that her aunts, so these are like my second great aunts, practice voodoo. Or not necessarily practice, because voodoo is a religion, versus hoodoo, that's the actual spiritual practice. That's where the witchcraft and all that stuff comes in with the spells and everything. But voodoo is like basically a way of life. It's a culture that's been, you know, held sacred. It's a closed practice, so you can't just go start doing stuff in voodoo and not expect consequences. And so I'm, you know, listening to this guy talk about, you know, like his whole process and mentorship, and he's getting ready to be initiated, so he's going to be flying out of this country and stuff like that and doing that. And then, you know, reminding us that it's a close practice. My grandmother had mentioned that she had some aunts that did that way back in the day, but unfortunately they were wiped out by Hurricane Katrina, and that was the only connection that I had in my family. Everyone else, nothing. So I'm kind of the black sheep in my family when it comes to these kind of practices. So what both the guy that does more of the astrology, and then also the guy that's being mentored into being initiated into voodoo, both of them make it very, very clear. When in doubt, ask an elder or a priest. Period. Don't go dabbling into practices and religions and cultures, especially ones that are closed, without having any knowledge or having an elder that's able to mentor you and guide you on yours. So that's where I was like, ding dong, the light kind of came on to my head. So I decided that, okay, let me go ahead and reach out to a priest. So I am now in the process of trying to figure out if the law will accept me being initiated into it. If so, I will continue on with my mentorship and eventually continue on to being initiated into voodoo. If not, I still have an elder that can still guide me when it comes to my divination, my ancestral veneration, that can guide me even to just regular practices that are open, or hoodoo, and then shadow work and all that stuff as well. But right now, I've been given some tasks because I brought it to my priest's attention about the dream that I had. And check this out. Papa Legba was not the spirit that I met at the Crossroads. That was not the person that was in my dream, or the spirit, the energy that was within my dream, the Lawa, I want to say. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm still learning about this, y'all. In fact, it was confirmed that it was Met Kalfou. And for those of you that don't know who Met Kalfou is Papa Legba's twin, his younger twin. They are both gatekeepers in a sense, but Papa Legba is of the Crossroads, and Met Kalfou, very powerful, yet very dangerous at the same time, and very malicious too, if need be, is like the gatekeeper when it comes to the Loa. And Papa Legba is more so of the Crossroads that can kind of like open up the doors to reaching the Loa or anything or any aspect in our life. Because you got to remember that Papa Legba is a part of our lives, you know, whether we know it or not. He's there to open up those gateways. But Met Kalfou is on the other hand. So I let my priest know. I was like, okay, well, I actually went to the Crossroads at Monday at midnight turning over. He was like, nope, you definitely did not meet Papa Legba. You actually met Kalfou. He was like, in order for you to meet Papa Legba, I want you to do one thing. So I have some tasks that I need to do. I have some literature that I'm going to be researching. I got some books that I'm going to be reading. And then also there's going to be some ancestral veneration work that I'll be doing as well. And I'll be sitting down once a week cooking meals for my ancestors just to kind of build that relation, because I don't have a direct connection in my family, my living family, to even learn anything of this. I have like a huge disconnect from the elders that did practice this to where I am now. So I do know of one ancestor that reached out to me last year when I was doing like a reading with one of my clairvoyants who's also an elder as well, and she announced herself, and I was all like, Mercy, I know that name. And that's my grandmother's sister, so that's my great aunt. And she passed away 2 years, I believe. It was 2 years before I was born, so I never had the chance to meet her. I never really knew anything about her. I don't really know much about my grandmother's siblings. She's one of 8, and she's also a triplet and the youngest. The only ones I knew of were her oldest, which is her aunt Gloria, or her sister Gloria, which is the oldest, and then also her brother Landry, who also passed away, but I had a connection to. So, but it was just very interesting, like how I kind of got led up to that, because I was starting to like, I wasn't really falling apart or like things were dismantling or anything negative that was happening, but I do feel like paths have been cleared for me in order for me to kind of pursue the route that I need to. So yes, I may have went to the Crossroads to meet Papa Legba. However, I did not meet Papa Legba. I met Met Kalfou. Am I afraid that I met Met Kalfou, knowing what I know about him and the research that I've done? No, I'm not afraid. And there should never be any fear when dealing with the Loa or the Orishas or any spirits for that matter, because all of them can be malevolent or benevolent. It doesn't matter. Like, at the end of the day, it's about respect. Respect. You disrespect them and you start playing games with them, and they are going to, shit's going to get crazy, and you'll mess around and get cursed. Like, try not to be dropping F-bombs and stuff, because I know that I have a lot of people coming in, you know, watching my videos now and stuff, and I don't want to get demonetized yet when I'm just barely starting off. So I'm going to do my best not to be dropping F-bombs, but if I do, I'm going to have to bleep them out, because child, I cuss like a motherfucking sailor. But anyways, that's besides the point. So, but yeah, I'm sorry that I'm like all over the place, but I felt like I needed to make another video or whatever, because I kind of stopped doing that as well, because I needed to just be stagnant for a little bit. That's a lack of a better term, just to kind of understand what do I need to do, find some stuff, and I got my guidance. So when dealing with any sort of deities, whether it's in Voodoo or Norse paganism or in the Celtic or Native American tradition, no matter what you're dealing with, when it comes to dealing with deities, 1, do your research. 2, make sure you are one within yourself and you are continuously working on your divination work, working on ancestral veneration, and also getting the advice of a priest or an elder that has the years of experience, that has all of that knowledge that can guide you correctly. Be mindful of the priests or these so-called priests and elders that you reach out to, because usually if they're trying to push an initiation on you or try to push you to do something that you don't even have any knowledge about yet, because you're still, you know, in your baby phase of this, or in your adolescent phase on your, you know, your spiritual journey and path, those are the ones you need to stray away from. Speaking with Voodoo, so my people of African descent, yes, go ahead and reach out to a priest. See if you can even be initiated. I need to speak with my ancestors. I need to cook for my ancestors, reach out to them and start building a connection with them. I need to start researching hoodoo, Haitian voodoo, and learning about that, my culture that was completely cut off due to the slave trade. And that has to do with a lot of us African Americans. That's all of us, actually. We were cut off from what we used to practice before we were brought over here, and it's been held on in small communities, and that's why voodoo is a closed practice, and it's nothing to mess with. And with that, then I also need to go and meet Papa Legba, and actually meet Papa Legba. So I've been given the directions on what I need to do to meet with Papa Legba, to see if it is a part of my path to be initiated into voodoo. So I will keep you guys updated on like the journey that I'm doing and stuff, but as far as the knowledge that I'm able to share with you guys with dealing with voodoo, I'm not going to be able to really explain much about voodoo if I do go onto the path of being initiated. There's things that I'm able to share to anyone just in a general aspect, but it is also a close practice. It is a sacred religion. And there's things that I'm just not going to be able to actually publicly say on this. So when in doubt, make sure that you are always reaching out to an elder or a priest. If you are trying to seek guidance from anyone on this spiritual path, seek out an elder, period. Because they're going to be the ones that guide you. You will find a way to get to them. You will find a way. And we have the beautiful resource of, you know, the internet and everything. However, do your due diligence and be mindful of the people that you make your connections with. Start doing your research. Really pick up books and start reading. Really start spending time within yourself. Really start spending time with grounding and meditation and working with your ancestors. And if you don't have a direct connection like within your family like me, then find someone that you feel like you can connect with. Ask around. There's plenty of Facebook groups that people can join. I'm in a really good one on Facebook as well, and someone in that group actually reached out to me and got me in connection with someone that could be a better resource for me. That's not even in that group. That's not even in the same state as me. He's out in is he in Louisiana? I think he's in Louisiana, either that or Georgia, because one person was in Georgia and the other was in Louisiana, but I reached out to both of them, so it's very important. But yeah, I did not meet Papa Legba. I met Met Kalfou. Thankfully, I didn't do anything stupid that's going to put me or my family or my bloodline, for that matter, in harm's way. And sometimes the Loa like to throw bones, you know, but there's a process for initiation, and I'm not even there yet. I got to make sure that I can at least start getting some connections and drawing the energy of my ancestors around me to really make those strong connections, and then take that with Papa Legba and meet Papa Legba at the Crossroads. And when I do that, paying attention to the signs, being mindful of all that as well, and that will let me know whether or not it's a part of my life's path, or not my life path, but my soul's path, to be initiated. And if that's the case, then I will continue on to my mentorship and then officially be initiated. And if not, it doesn't stop my spiritual journey, but it allows me to respect voodoo as its own culture and its own religion and practice, and just to keep moving forward and not stop. So I ended up making this video a lot longer than what I expected, so thank you guys for sitting and watching. I will be uploading from time to time. If you want more of a direct connection with me, just to kind of see how things are going, feel free to reach out to me on TikTok or follow me on TikTok. It's CCAshley_Medina. And then also I have my Facebook page, which is Akeo, that magical witch. And then, yeah, or make sure you subscribe and like this video and subscribe to my channel to stay in tune. And I know that eventually maybe I might start getting a lot of publicity and a lot of viewers and stuff and a lot of comments, but I do my due diligence to make sure that I'm going through each and every comment and reading them, or at least liking them, so you guys know that at least I'm reading what you guys have to say, because I feel like everyone has a voice, and it drives me crazy that even with millions of followers, there's some people that just don't even give the time of day to really at least acknowledge that you read it. I know it can be very tedious, very, very tedious, but we have 24 hours in a day, so, and 7 days a week. there's time to sit through and read all those comments. So I'll do my best. I'll do my best. But anyways, thank you guys again for watching. If there's any questions that you have or anything that you want to know that I may be able to answer for you, make sure you leave those comments and questions and all that down below. Share your experiences. Let me know how your journey is going too, because I want to be able to interact with you guys as well. This isn't all about me, but I want to at least be able to share my journey to help the next person on the way and give them tips and all that stuff too. So, but yeah, without further ado, I got to go back inside because I'm about to do a foot pedi. Okay, because these feet is looking crusty, dusty, musty. Okay, looking like Crocodile Dundee up in this. Okay, so let me go on and get y'all. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day, evening, morning, whenever you watch this video. Habari za asabuhi, mchana, na jioni, na usiku. That's morning, afternoon, evening, night, wherever you are in the world. And that's in Swahili, by the way. Have a good night. And tutana na badaye. I will talk to you guys later. Outie 5000 G.